Sorry, Nick, are you saying something?
No, you're saying something, but now it's my turn to say something. Hi, guys. Welcome to the season finale. We're going to be taking a break after this for a few weeks, but we have a whole new cast of characters tonight. We have Tyler back, and hopefully he can share some fun stories about some crazy stuff. We have Matir, you know him, Mal, and then we got Andrew, who's actually the Warrior Vault, so you guys know his channel. He's here with us today. And then for any of you who are watching live, feel free to hang out afterwards. We're going to just do a bullshit on top of this bullshit, but we're just going to chill and just talk about whatever. So before we get into any of the comments and questions or ideas that you guys posted, Tyler, what's going on, dude?
Not a heck of a lot. As I'm sure people have noticed, I've been basically non-existent online for the last month and a half. That's because I was getting married, so yay, I did that now. But basically, I've been then, after that, planning my trip to England and slowly deciding which army I need to bring with me of my 5 armies.
Oh, I think we just found our first topic.
That would be great, because I still don't know.
Which Tyler bring?
All right, so why don't you, do you have anything else to add in, or should we just go straight to that?
There's really not a lot. Like, I haven't watched anything.
What have
Hold on. What have I missed?
Well,
what have you guys been doing?
I can't.
Yeah, do you want? Should we fill them in with
essentially
what's happening?
what we discovered while you were gone was you went to Cuba, and I don't remember. We came up with a couple different possible outcomes where you died or.
We were pretty sure you were kidnapped by pirates.
Pirates? Okay.
We joked about it, but after a while it became more serious, and we began to worry. And then jokes started happening, and then we felt awkward because what if these jokes were real? And yeah, that's what happened with us between you. Tyler lost an eye, or Nick lost an eye.
Yeah, I'm having crazy headaches, so I have to actually wear my eye patch.
Oh, I thought you were just being silly.
No, screw you guys.
He's so silly.
I went to the movie theater yesterday, and I wore it.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, and I mean, this is a handicap I've always had with my eye issues, but like now that I actually have the eye patches on, like I could feel everybody looking at me, and I'm like, I give credit. I mean, on a serious note, I give credit to people that actually have like visible handicaps, where like people are always like staring at them and stuff. I'm like, I couldn't handle this regularly, but yeah, so I had to walk around in public with my eye patch. So.
Did you actually hide like extra butter in there for your popcorn?
Pull like a whole box of Skittles. I got this past you.
Genius.
Not in my usual chair. This one keeps slowly lowering itself.
All right, so Tyler, what armies
Yes.
do you have? Tell us what you have, how much of it you have, how much of it's painted, and then as a collective, we'll let you know what we think you should bring, and then we'll have a vote.
Okay. So I have Lizardmen, well over 5,000 points worth, with closing on a half of it painted. I've got Wood Elves, probably 3,000 to 4,000 points worth. A bunch of the new stuff non-assembled. And painted to meh levels. I have a bunch of Beastmen that are either unassembled or not really go, so they're not really in the running. Skaven, 4,000 to 5,000 points worth, mostly unpainted. Basically everything in the whole Skaven book I have. And then I also have Bretonia, that's about half painted as well. That's probably 4,000 points worth.
Now,
how long are you going to be in England again?
Minimum 1 year, maybe 2 years.
Is this for competitive, or is this like something you're just going to have fun? Or are you going for specific?
I don't know what's... What am I going there for, Nick?
Well, explain why you're going.
Okay, so I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to be on the southeast coast of England, and I don't know what the scene's like there yet. I don't know if there's a lot of tournaments. I like going to tournaments, so I would like to have some competitiveness. But I'd just like to... I'm going to go kill a guy.
You said it, not us. All right.
Like 8 things in the comments show up.
So not knowing what the scene is going to be like, are you going to pick an army and bring all of it, or do you think you could set up a list or two that's very balanced, all comers kind of list, and just bring those minis? Are you trying to bring the whole army, or are you just trying to bring a few to be able to...
I didn't even think about that, like bringing 2,500 points 2 armies or something like that, compared to 5,000 points of 1 army. That's interesting.
One thing you could do is bring 2,500 points of an army painted ready to go, and then if you're going to be there for 2 years, bring 2,500 points of an army not finished, like maybe your beastmen, maybe whatever's not painted. This way you still have something to work on.
Yeah, I've got lots to work on no matter which army I take, so I'm not worried about running out yet.
I agree with Nick. I think that's a pretty good idea. Change it up.
If you're going to just bring one, I'd probably vote for Bretonia. For a year to 2 years down the road, they might have a new book by that point.
Yeah, but that would go with any of my armies then.
This is true.
They're likely to see updates before Bretonia.
But if you bring Lizardmen and GW goes out of business, at least you have a new book.
Yeah.
That's true, but same with Wood Elves.
Now here's the real question. Which are those armies do you like the least?
Do I like the least?
Yeah.
I don't like my Beastmen just because I don't have enough of them yet.
All right, my vote's locked in.
You telling me to bring Beastmen?
I'm thinking Lizardmen. I think you should bring Lizardmen. I don't see enough Lizardmen games.
Okay.
I'd say Lizardmen or Wood Elves. You were pretty excited to bring the Wood Elves up before.
Yeah, they're the 2 I'm most looking to use. Originally, I was thinking about there's a painter that we featured a couple times, Luke Gent. He has a commissioned painter in England, and we talked about him working on my Beastmen, but right now it's just not in the cards for it. So I was thinking about sending them there, get painted, and then be able to have the army I was working on plus what he worked on for me. So.
Yeah, I think you should go with Lizardman, unless you could take Skaven if you have 700 points of Giselles. That's my theory.
I only got 3 Giselles.
You need 700 points worth.
700 points worth.
Yeah, man. Units of knights right off the table, every turn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because think about it. They're hitting on 5s. They're strength 6, armor piercing. Units of knights gone. Britannia goodbye.
Giselles. I forget they're even a unit.
Yeah, nobody takes them, but if you took enough of them...
Just bring like a unit
If they
of
had
10.
strength in numbers, and I could run like a unit of 20 with leadership decent.
Whoa. A horde. A horde of them.
you know we run on
That was stupid of me, Mel. I definitely need to have at least 30.
Yep.
30 to 40 Giselles. Okay, never mind. I figured out my list.
Yeah.
No, I think Lizardman's probably your best bet. That's my opinion. Seems like you enjoy them.
Yeah, I do. They were the ones I took with me to Thunder Bay, so I had an extra year with them, since I've been back, I've basically used each of my armies a couple times. That I'm not feeling like I've been just covered with one army now. That I've had
Why don't you just organize them into boxes and then get your mother or someone to send them to you? Like send me box B, Mom, and then there you go.
Or just not know. Don't label the boxes and just like when it's time to go, just grab one. Like take this one.
That's actually not a bad idea. Or do.
That's a terrible idea.
No, I like it.
I'd be so upset, I bet.
Do Andrew's idea where you pack them up as tight as you can in boxes, and then once you're done with an army, have somebody at home ship over the next one.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't know how much that would cost.
Yeah, he's only working on a teacher's salary. That might bankrupt him.
All right. So, do we want to move on to the Chaos Gods, Mr. Dillon?
What was the Chaos Gods thing? Hold on.
Yeah,
All right. Tyler, last week we had a debate on which god was best. Do you want to weigh in?
Nurgle.
Why?
Wrong.
Because he's best. Beast of Nurgle.
Is Nurgle really your vote?
it seems to be one of the strongest ones right now in game. But besides that, I do like how he's kind of like life and death, that he's both edges of the coin. So I feel like that's where most of the power will be. Things will always be dying, but things won't always be like touching each other's butts.
Okay.
So I feel like Slanesh might lose power, but even if there's no humans, can the Chaos Gods not get power just from things dying? Like when plants and stuff start rotting, I feel like Nurgle's going to be the last guy.
I guess. I don't know. Well, let's see. Dylan, what's the tally?
So basically, the argument that won it is since all gods feed off of excess, and Slanesh is the god of excess, Slanesh would overcome all the other gods eventually. So Slanesh got 12 votes, Tzeentch got 10, Khorne got 6, and Nurgle got 6. So
7.
do I get Malorian's Khorne is the most orky votes on that too? Because I feel like I would get 9 on that. That's added, right?
All right.
So yeah,
I didn't see that
were
coming.
like that.
I honestly thought it would have been Khorne and Nurgle as people's both favorite and/or fluff / in-game favorite, but Slanesh it is. If you guys, I don't know if I should be sharing this spoiler. I don't know if you'd be mad at me, but
Spoiler
I was
alerts?
talking. Yeah, I was
Spoiler
talking.
alerts! Spoiler alerts!
I was talking
Okay,
to one of the guys on nerdhammer.net. Eric, he does his battle reports on there, and he's going to be bringing an all Slanesh demon army to the Crossroads, and it sounds very, very thought out. And he's sharing all these things about it, and like I'll let him do it on his channel. But I'm like, wow, that's actually smart. Or like I was responding to him like, I didn't know you can do that in that book. I thought I honestly don't know anything about the demon book, but he's got some cool tricks. So hopefully, if you guys wait until after Crossroads, check that out. So you guys want to get into some of these questions that are up on YouTube's?
Let's do it.
All right. So a whole bunch of you viewers and a bunch of us here on YouTube have been committing our Wednesday nights for a few hours doing this shit. Gobo's Itchy Nuisance puts the question, what are you guys... Gomo's Itchy Nuisance. What are you guys going to be working on hobby-wise until Warhammer Weekly starts up again? What do you think, Dylan?
I'm going to be taking a break from the hobby for quite a bit, at least half a month or so. I'm just trying to get things in order. So probably nothing. Probably just focusing on getting a job and all that fun stuff, being an adult.
Being an adult.
I know I'm only going to be painting as much Skaven as I need for Crossroads, otherwise I'm going to start getting in more games. What about you, Tyler? How many miles are you
going to... I like that.
Are you going to be painting on the plane?
Not on the plane. For the first bit, I'm showing up on the 16th, and I'll be looking at places and staying kind of short-term bed and breakfast or whatever until I actually get my own flat over there. In that time, whichever army I choose, I probably won't be touching them until I actually move into my flat. So I'm another 2 weeks of hobbylessness, but after I move in, I'll probably check out the town, find a local gaming store, see what's up in the area, and get planning that way.
All right, cool. And what else? Who else is going to be doing stuff?
Everyone's
I'm going to be watching Tyler's battle reports he'll be posting.
Oh.
I had a battle the other day against orcs and goblins. We didn't even make it to turn 3.
Not enough words.
It might have been, but it was just like, first turn, his guy squabbles, 2 units can't move, the units behind are stuck. Next turn, the unit that didn't squabble the first time squabbled and fought with the other guys, and it was just like, I had a comet. It was like right in front. It was glorious Bretonian.
Andrew, what are you working on?
I haven't been doing much of anything. I had a lot of life things going on, so I'm probably going to start. I want to get, I don't know, some dwarves done. I've been working on them for a while, like here and there. I just don't have the pieces yet.
Okay.
Not everything, you know.
What
Dwarves are
you doing anything,
awesome.
Mitt?
Well, we're just going to be continuing the narrative. Next couple of weeks or so, we're introducing a new Warriors of Chaos player to the narrative, so we'll be adding some more fun there.
Is it the Warriors' fault?
What?
What?
No, I don't play Chaos.
Now this one's going to be Heavy Zinch, and his main character he's going to actually be running his armies with is Galruch, the special character two-headed Chaos Dragon thing.
Mitt, don't do any challenges against that guy.
Well, no.
Don't accept a challenge against him. He will breath weapon you, and you'll fail one of those toughness tests, and your guy will die. For the white teeth guys, don't do it.
Okay, I will remember that. I'll be.
Man, that was such a sincere warning. You could see it in your eyes. I was like,
I'm worried for you.
No, don't mess with it. He sees some shit in Cuba.
2d6 toughness tests. You'll fail one. You'll fail one.
In Cuba, when you lose a Warhammer match, you don't even want to know.
Yeah. I didn't bring any of my Warhammer models on my honeymoon, if that's your question.
No, that wasn't a question.
Before we
you probably lost, right?
Before we move on to the next question, I do gotta say though, Tyler, since you haven't been on for a while, my wife always comes over and asks, "Where's Tyler? Where is he?" Like she's been worried about you.
She misses me.
Yeah.
She's been asking about you. All right, so next question is from Skaven in AZ, and this question I don't know too much about, or the statement I should say, but maybe some of you guys might. The rumor abounding on Warseer about an upcoming advancing of the timeline and new models for a number of ranges. You guys know anything about this?
I've read the same rumor. Mal, have you read the rumor?
As far as reading it, it always seems to be coming up over and over again, and this is more wish listing than an actual rumor that I've seen. I mean, from what I've read, the real reliable people have not stated this. Have you seen that they have, or?
Well, H&H, which is Harry and Hastings, they've been gone for quite a while. But what's currently being said, and it was posted by Darnock in the first place, he's one of the, I guess, monitors on Warseer. So the rumor is a big thing for Warhammer Fantasy at the end of August. Sadly, no details, but the notion of the shape of things to come, and that's confirmed as being the return of Nagash.
That'd be awesome.
I'm thinking if they do, I mean, we've gotten a little bit of a slight bit of advance with the Sigmar's Blood campaign book, and I think that they're probably going to aim for something like that. It's safe, it's small releases, but it's something that's going to let them push forward a little bit at a time. And if they do want to release small model kits to kind of go with those kind of campaigns, I think that would be a perfect way to test the waters for this new type of distribution.
Well, it hasn't been since Storm of Chaos where there was a campaign supplement that they actually tallied everyone's progress together, right? Has there been anything since that?
Not that I can remember.
Did you guys all partake in that or appreciate the fact that GW organized that?
Oh yeah, my orcs were there.
Are you the reason why the orcs won?
Yeah, I was the headline.
Yes. He showed up to Games Workshop headquarters with a battle axe and just whoa!
No, I just think Malorian just
with
played
30 other Malorians with him in a horde formation.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I mean, if they did something like that, I think I would appreciate that, especially now that we have the YouTube community. I don't feel like when Storm of Chaos was going on, there was much of battle report, a lot of battle reports or people posting up stuff. But I mean, now that we have a community online, I think that'd be cool to see, the shit talking and actually see the progress of the campaign. And
what I want to see is Games Workshop realize that there's this online community.
Oh no, they've been keeping tabs on Anthony. We all know it.
Well, Anthony, yeah, because he's on everyone's watch list. They're like, this guy swears so much. No, I'd like to see. I like the idea of everything moving forward. I haven't been in the hobby very long. I guess it's third anniversary coming up. Like I'm keeping track of my Warhammer anniversaries. Don't tell my wife. She'll be pissed.
I'm getting close to my first, I think, or just past my first, I think. Well, back. So.
Really? You guys have a lot of painted stuff and a lot of players for only being in a year.
I paint very, very quickly. I started last July, and with very little, I had a little bit left from my high school empire, and I've got 5 painted armies floating around 3,000 points each now.
Wow. That's
Very
pretty
impressive.
awesome.
Man.
I think of the 6 of us here, though, the best painted stuff has got to be the Warriors Vault.
Oh, thanks.
I mean,
I agree with that.
when I saw your shit even in person, it's, you know,
So your shit.
your shit.
I
When I
went
saw
to
your
the bathroom and he was like, "Damn, that's impressive too." Never mind his army, Jesus.
No, really, thanks. That's quite a compliment. I
yeah. No
appreciate
problem.
that.
Well, it's not that great coming from Nick.
Well,
Asshole.
you're always, whenever you get a group, you're always going to have someone who's far and away the best. I mean, with our group, it's my wife. And actually, I think I sent Dylan some pictures of stuff she did. I don't know if we're going to get to them tonight, but...
We will and can. I just haven't figured that out yet on my screen because as you can see, I moved my computer, so I'm behind. But
Right.
we'll get to it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I put in a lot of effort for my painting, but then when I show up to some of these events and they're like, "Oh, this was no hard work," and I'm like, "Your shit looks 10 times better than mine." Like I don't. I tried really hard. But all right. So next question. This comes from Ice King. Redirecting tactics. Is it cheesy? Does it make logical sense for a giant eagle, rat dart, or small group of infantry or fast cav to cause a much larger unit to adjust or close the door to the smaller unit? Realistically, shouldn't the smaller unit just align, close the door that way, to the larger unit? It's hard to see a horde of Malorian's trolls making a giant 90-degree turn just because someone parked a throwaway tiny unit or a single model in front of it. I see the tactic a lot on battle reports and it always rails against what's somewhat logical side of my brain.
This is not a logical game. It's a game with magic and little figures. It makes rules and it fits to the rules. If we try and say like, well, the cannonball would do its damage before the bounce, therefore my cannon will hit your guy before too. Like,
I gotta disagree with you. I think this is a legitimate argument here. I know there's some fantasy elements to this game, but why would 30 or 40 guys make this giant turn to go smack a flying eagle?
Well, I
because
think...
that's attack
I
to the
have
front,
a
obviously.
point.
Even
Yeah,
though
but
you
that's
could
not
just
an
make
actual
an L shape.
tactic.
You should make an L shape around that thing and just.
Okay, I have a
Or just do.
I have
I
a
would do
point.
one unit then.
I have a point.
All right, go.
Okay.
Trolls are stupid, and anything that's flying and beautiful, they're just gonna chase after. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I want that! I want that!" Or if you're blood crazy, anything that comes in front of you, you're just gonna be pissed off that it's in front of you. You're gonna immediately charge it to try to murder it. So I can see it
but
through
what they're
that
saying-
kind of
what
fluff.
they're saying, Dylan, is that they think that the big unit like this big. Say we have a unit that big. If you put an eagle like this, when it charges, it's gonna go boop, and you have to go like that rather than just going, nah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just
yeah, they
I,
want it, man. They want it.
strange as it
They
is
want to get it.
for me to be the one arguing the mechanics point, I think there are certain parts of this game we just have to recognize are gamist constructions to either make things easier or to balance things. I think hordes are very, very strong right now, and I think if we didn't have a way to redirect them or to kind of turn them on their ass, there really wouldn't be much more in the game other than just slamming giant blocks into each other's faces.
I could.
Maybe you could regulate it by making it have to have a rank or something of that nature for redirectors.
I like that. I think whatever the unit that has the larger unit strength, you should snap to that. Are you laughing
That's
at
because you
unit
play
strength?
Skaven.
No.
Oh, what? I have more ranks? Again?
No, I didn't say ranks. I said unit strength because
What's unit strength? That's not a term anymore.
it could be if you've got 40 if you got 40. Fuck you. Why are you back? We don't like you anymore.
He just said in the chat, he's like, I missed you.
If you have 40 orcs, are they all going to make this giant 90-degree wheel to line up with one eagle? Shouldn't the eagle line up to the orcs?
No.
Well, you know, like
It's,
school band dance, like you know, like you have like the marching bands. That's part of orc training, so they're used to this. You know, it's no problem.
All right, well, let me ask a question then. So let's just go ahead and say that the rules get changed so that that's how they worked. Would anyone ever take a giant eagle again?
yes. War
Yes,
Machine.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
You'd
War
find-
Machines.
You'd find other uses for these chaff units, or they
The
wouldn't
new
be called chaff
redirecting
units
unit
anymore.
would be like 5-man archer units, and they're basically a skirmishing. They're pretty mobile. They're not 20-inch move, but
You know what? Maybe we're looking at it the wrong way. Maybe this problem has already been fixed with the fact that you can now combat reform.
Yes, that's a huge change. That really took away what it used to be.
Because, I mean, it's one thing when you're dealing with Frenzy and you have to overrun, but, like, I do kind of agree with the fact that, like, it's just weird how this giant block of infantry will make all these funky maneuvers just to deal with one
Yes.
model. But
I'm not saying that, like, if it happened in the real world, that I'm like, yo, that it should happen like that. Yeah, those guys should line up.
Yeah.
No, obviously that's not the case. But I mean, they have to make rules to allow some sort of tactics to happen in the movement phase. So this is how they went about it.
Yeah. I had a good example from this where a guy up in Fort Mac, we used to be playing for years, and then we had this real falling out because I loved the double fleas, the redirecting, and he hated that stuff. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to be playing with no redirectors for as long as you want me to. And all I did was took a Death Star, and I'd punch him in the face. She's like, this is stupid. I can't do anything with this Death Star. Okay, take chaff. Redirect it. That's why it's part of the game. So...
Yes, Texas women in
Tyler,
That's a
Tyler,
perfect
Christine
learning
wants to-
experience.
Christine wants to say hi.
Hi, Christine.
She says hi. She says she misses you.
I missed you too.
He missed you too. His wedding was
Don't
good.
tell my wife though.
How was Cuba?
Oh, it was
was
really good. You guys should go
did?
there.
Yeah, we didn't believe you at first that you went to Cuba. I know who goes to Cuba.
Not Americans.
Nope.
That's why we like going there. Boom!
No.
All right. So, next question is from Mr. Malorian. Is the rumor true that Nick's fake eye isn't a fake eye at all? Is it true that he just takes an eye from those he defeats?
That's
So
why
are
he
you
doesn't have that eye right now.
This is why I
Is it-
have no friends. I just poke people's eyes out.
It's more likely he takes the eyes from the people that beat him, so he's more likely to beat them the next battle.
Ah. And
Yes,
that's the eye patch. He hasn't won in a while.
it's
Yeah.
here. Eyes for the eye god.
Yeah. It's very Skaven-like. I like it. I like it.
So I've got a question for you guys, if you don't mind me sticking it in here.
Go for it.
All right. So you have. All right. You have lost a bet, and as such, have to get a Warhammer-themed tattoo somewhere on your body. What would it be, and where would it be placed?
All right, can I answer first?
Yeah.
Because
Go get an eyeball tattoo of the Skaven
no,
horn god. Do that.
I would actually get a dwarf rune as a tattoo. I think that'd be pretty sick. Find
Just
one that
one?
actually like means something. Because I know some of them are like, I could just do like the +1 strength rune, and just be like, oh, this means strength, and then
Right on your bicep, like.
yep. And then anybody that I don't want to expose my nerdiness to, I'll just be like, it's Chinese for strength, and then I'll just leave it at that.
It doesn't look
character.
Chinese at all.
Nice.
All right. Who else got one?
Well,
I
you
got
know,
one.
for the ogres, they have this whole lore around like the great maw, right? It's like this big, hungry mouth that devours everything. You get that, you put it right on your ass, and that's your tattoo right there.
Like around your. I can
Yeah,
get
on
like
the
the
hole.
ogre gut thing right on your belly. That would be a sweet one.
Wait, so
Like,
shit
what
goes
is that?
in your
My
ass
gut's
instead of out? No.
What's that?
So shit goes,
No,
it goes
not
in
mouths.
or out your ass. You get the
If you
great
don't
maw.
mind sticking this question in.
All right, who's next?
I think the chaos symbol would be great. Big chaos symbol right on your arm. That'd be awesome.
Just the arrows.
Yep, that's what I'd go with. Something easy.
That's pretty cool because that's the actual symbol for like chaos. The 8 arrows, like outside of Warhammer alone, like that actually means chaos. So that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those tattoos actually in tattoo books before too.
Symbol of chaos.
So, Mitt,
Totally.
what's yours, Mitt?
Actually, my placement isn't going to be as clever as Malloyan's, but I actually would get the sigil of the Great Maw on my shoulder.
No, belly!
No, dude. If I was going to do a belly, I would literally get like a whole gut plate done over the whole thing.
That would be badass.
Yeah, it would be totally badass, but my wife's sitting here groaning at me. I think that would earn me an instant divorce.
Oh, wait. Then, what does your wife think would be a cool Warhammer tattoo?
Okay. What do you think would be a cool Warhammer tattoo and where? Hurry up. What? She would cop out and do elf runes on her arm.
To show her weakness?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking she was gonna do orcs and goblins. She's been enjoying kicking my ass with them lately. She should get
Who hasn't gone yet?
Dylan, I think.
Yeah, Dylan.
I was gonna go with the dwarf rune too, but I'd probably just get the hammer Sigmar on my chest or something. Nothing fun or crazy. And if I wanted to go crazy, I would just get the third eye of Zinch on my penis.
I was gonna say, is there like a rune of hardness? Because I would definitely put that down there.
Oh,
No, what you need to just do is get a lance of Bretonnian knights so it looks like they're charging.
no, I'm gonna get the words written 10 inches from the back on my. Okay. Anyway.
That is classic. Welcome back.
All right. So, Remington Steel. How about suggestions for new units, monsters, special rules for the forthcoming Bretts, Beastmen, and Skaven books? Ideas?
I want to see some Techno Rat Ogre dual kit. So they'll have like the Rat Ogres or some sort of really scryered up mutant Rat Ogres. I don't know what you'd put on them. Similar to, like, in a way, Iron Guts, but not exactly that. Like, I don't want them to do D6 shots or whatever, just something.
Would you like to see Skaven go in the direction of Chaos, where instead of, like, marks, you can actually have a clan, like, on a different unit? Like, instead of, like, clan rats just being straight-up clan rats, having them, I don't know, have a different element.
Like clan skirt.
I think that'd be cool.
They're too static.
Yeah.
Like, a clan rat is just a clan rat. There's not, like, a god of Scryer giving them bonus something. So I feel like it's not quite appropriate for Skaven.
I tell you, for Skaven, I've been looking around for like what my next army's going to be, and there's so much stuff like that Skaven have that I never see. I'd be happy with them just updating some of the rules to like the other weapon teams and stuff, so that you got to actually see more of a variety in the army.
Like
Yeah,
a
more
Doom
Giselles.
player?
What?
Zales?
Yeah, man, more Giselle.
Well,
Like sensors?
Like there was one I was on their GW's website looking at things, and I kept seeing these weapon teams that like I don't even recognize because they never get played. Like there's one that's like this grinder thing, and
Warp grinder, yeah.
yeah, it's like what I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's a tunneling thing.
Well,
So you can
Warp Grinder goes hand in hand with the Night Runners, and if they redid a kit for the Night Runners and either made them better as core or made them special, I think that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, in your narratives, I think if you have somebody playing Skaven, the Warp Grinder would be...
the Skaven was the Skaven Warriors of Chaos player who decided he didn't like the way things were going and bolted, so he pulled out.
I've done some campaigns where I used the tunneling team for like siege battles, and it does wonders because you put a penny down at the beginning of the game, and then they just pop up and get the charge. And I mean, there's 7 points a model, 2 attacks. You know, initiative 5, leadership 6. There, whatever. I did it against Empire, and I just popped up and ate all their war machines. So, but
You can charge it on the turn that you show up.
yeah, that's what's really cool about them.
Are you sure?
That's freaking crazy.
I'm pretty sure every
You
other.
also have the chance that You also have the chance that like your tunnel collapses and every guy in that thing takes a strength test or dies.
Yeah, but you have
You gotta take a risk.
Yeah. So what's Skaven without the risk?
I want to see Monsters Cav.
yeah. Night Runners themselves.
Monsters Cav for the.
Yeah, for Skaven. It'll be like a chieftain riding like a mini hell pit on like a demigryph base.
We have the great response to that. And Forge World has the Brood Horror. I'd like to see the Brood Horror get actually added to the book.
See, I actually think for Monsters Calf for the Skaven, all you really need are one of those transparent, like, hamster balls with a Skaven in the middle. Put those on.
There you go. That's a good idea.
It's like there's 2 forms of Doomwheel. You can take the one that zaps people, or you can take the one that just runs over them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like those freaking Zorb things you push down a hill, like boom,
right.
boom.
I mean, we've got the Rat Ogre Bonebreaker. I think it'd be cool if they actually made cavalry that were the Rat Ogres being ridden by some sort
I mean,
of.
really, the army's really slow. It would be nice to see them have something with some kind of movement. They have no cavalry.
They're moving
they're-
5.
Yeah, but no, they're 5. Yeah, okay, but they still don't have anything that can really go down the board. The 2 things they do are random movement, so that's hit or miss.
The main problem, though, is if they're going to have them fit into the Skaven idea of just being crappy and having a ton of them, you would need just this ridiculous bus of cavalry that...
They're like monstrous calves that are like wounds 2, toughness 3. But
Yeah,
they're only
right.
like
You mean
20
they
points.
basically just borrow the Pegasus from Britannia, right?
No,
Or
that's
like
got a
Lizardman.
3 armor.
Yeah, but then you would be seeing hordes of Monsters Cav.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Yeah, Valorian will like that.
Speaking of hordes of things that shouldn't be, I'm very annoyed. I was actually trying to make a Malorian-esque list for my vampire accounts, and I'm very annoyed that they limit me to only 20 direwolves in a single unit. I was going to hoard those suckers.
Is that a starting size?
No.
It has a max size, yeah.
But is that like a max size to start them? Because then couldn't you
No.
take that upgrade that lets you boost past that?
I guess that would work. Awesome. Idea back on. Okay.
You're welcome. Tyler,
All
how
right.
can be ridiculous?
All right, let's move on to the next question. Mr. Malorian asks, is the rumor that Dylan is an undercover Care Bear true? Is his real name Giggle Heart?
No,
Where'd he go?
He got knocked off. I almost think
I-
this is an unfair question with him gone.
I didn't even realize he was gone.
He did say it's raining here. Oh, he's back.
There he is.
There he goes.
Oh,
Welcome back, Giggleheart.
Giggle Heart. Dylan, what's your Care Bear name?
Isn't it Giggle Sack or something?
Giggle what?
Giggle Sack?
Giggle.
Yes.
If something hits me just right, it will tickle my giggle sack, and I'll just be like, or just laugh like a
I
girl.
don't know
or
if I want to keep
14-year-old.
talking about things tickling your giggle sack.
No. If you tickle his sack, he giggles.
Yeah, it's a sack that tickles. I don't get it.
It's
Wrong with
it's right below the penis.
All right, we've got one more Malorian question. Is the rumor that Tyler killed a guy true? Is this why Terra Nord stopped making new videos about the same time?
There can be only one lizard man.
Yeah.
Did Terra play Lizardman?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I know.
I like how you asked that question afterwards to confuse us.
Well, but his army was really well painted, so I'm glad that I have it now.
Yeah.
So I have a Lizardman question from Elven Darkness. Lizardman Predatory Fighter. Does the second rank gain Predatory Fighter or the third, for the matter, when being charged when using spears?
Debatable.
From the rule of the book, I say no, it does not. You are limited to one supporting attack. Any attacks from the second rank are called supporting attacks. You're limited to one.
But then they always say army books overwrite the main rule book, so you're stuck in this gray area, right?
But it says no matter what extra attacks from special bonuses, like special freaking rules. It says special rules, and then they're like, yeah, but my special rules is like different. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah. I would agree with Memorian if the Lizardman book specifically said that it allowed multiple supporting attacks, but it doesn't, so
Yeah,
I agree with Tyler.
There's no overruling. It doesn't say except like it's allowed to be over the thing. That would be an exception. It just says if you roll a 6 to hit, you get an extra attack.
And from a functional thing, though, too, it's also very awkward if you play it the way by the main rule book. So it's like, okay, here's the dice for the front rank, here's the dice for the back rank. You know, it just makes it a lot easier. So I usually side that everybody gets it just because it makes the game flow a lot better. But the way I see it is gray. I mean, why is there not an FAQ on this yet? You know, how old is the Lizardman book?
Over a year now.
They have a hero that can't even join the unit that buffs the unit that he joins, the flying guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
tic-tac-toe.
yeah, they definitely need an FAQ.
All pterodons in his unit can use his weapon skill. Oh, that's cool. You can't join a unit of pterodons?
Can I join you guys? No, the book says you can't.
You could in the old book. The old book says he can join a unit. Then they make the new book, and they don't. It's like they thought, oh, Lizardman already can do it. But no, he didn't say it.
More like they didn't think.
Taking a step back, there was a comment from the feed right now from Nukeman117. I'd like a choice of mutations to add to the giant rats and rat ogres. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, get rid of the squeal gnawtooth requirement to give those things and just be able to upgrade them. I'm down for that.
So like you buy them like Marks?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like spend 5 points to give your rat ogres regen.
That's
5
pretty
points
cool.
per model. I would do that.
I'm
make
in
it
big
random.
support of anything that lets you make your units or your characters more customizable, so thumbs up here.
Okay.
I like it.
Anything that makes rat ogres better. I love rat ogres. They need to be used.
As long as trolls are still better.
I'm not trying to take away you're stupid. We have friendly. You know, they're different things.
Yeah.
Gomo
Have you put
asks...
up
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, have you put up a horde of rat ogres versus a horde of trolls yet?
Yes.
Assuming you gave the regen buff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just no contest because the regen just right there says that they're going to win. So.
No, if we took Squeal Gnawtooth and got regen on those rat ogres, my money's on the rat ogres for sure.
Rat ogres win hands down.
Yeah,
They
then
would
they get extra
destroy them.
attack.
They're more expensive too, so...
So
Yeah.
we'd be able to kill 2 of his hordes.
Well, the real fact is their initiative's nice. I mean, they have good initiative for being ogres.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Initiative 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
I can see that working out. Gomo asks, are you guys all excited about ETC that's kicking off tomorrow/today?
Sorry, elaborate.
Never used it.
New ETC rules? Is that what you're saying?
He says, are you guys at all excited about ETC that's kicking off today or tomorrow? I don't follow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm ignorant when it comes to that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a
exactly
Facebook
it.
player. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just assumed he's talking about the rules, and I've never used them.
Mm-hmm. I use this. I don't use other people's rules.
I might have to learn it, guys.
Yeah,
Well, that's
you probably
true.
will.
So then you could be our overseas correspondent that can...
I would be down for that.
Wait, is the ETC, is that the one where if you take like a Hellheart, you get -1 dispel scroll? I mean, a -1 dispel die for every dispel phase.
Potentially, it's often things like if you take this, like you can take this, but if you do, you can't take this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you can take one of these 3 items in your list.
I mean, that's nice for balancing certain lower class armies, but I mean,
just
you gotta build.
use it in a different way, right?
Yeah.
You take a Northern Demon Prince, but then you can't take friends. It's one or the other.
Alright,
Changes
so
to WCO means possible direction change.
read the question out loud and then answer it.
Okay.
Mr.
There's a
Teacher.
change of Games Workshop CEO means possible direction changes. What changes, at a broad level, would you love most to see in the game, i.e. more books, less books? That should be EG, by the way, not IE. IE says it's an exclusive list. This is all the changes, so that's wrong. i.e. more books, less books, more armies, less armies, larger battles, smaller battles, more support for older games or newer ideas, like Mordheim or Mordheim 2.0. The return of Games Workshop tournaments, Games Workshop on social media in a big way. The list goes on, which is why you need EG. The book rate that it was coming out for the last year was pretty solid. I don't know if they could speed that up. 40K seems like they're getting more of their codexes coming out, but I don't want to see any changes in armies. Does anybody want new armies?
Addition of new armies would be great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's already 15 armies. You want to see more?
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't
think
mind
they
seeing
need
a new one.
to make the Halfling army official.
Cathay or Nippon, those ones could be interesting.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing that I would love to see as a direction change is just them pushing the campaign books like Sigmar's Blood and Blood in the Badlands much harder than they do. I mean, really, for all things considered, that can't be a huge resource sink for them. I mean, I think if they could release 3 or 4 of those a year in addition to the normal army book flow, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. So, in about 10 years, we're going to have 3D printers and everybody will be able to punch out their own models and do this and that. Where's GW going to sit if they don't start their own tournament scene and they don't mandate that you have to use their models?
Games Workshop needs to realize that, like, the internet's a thing.
Yeah.
As good as that sounds.
I mean, 3D printers will put them out of business currently if they were available for everyone right now.
Well, Andrew, I think that ultimately that's shutting the barn after the horse is gone. I mean,
It's true.
At this point, they've lost hold of their tournaments. I mean, think about the people who run tournaments now. If GW tried to step in and make tournaments that were GW exclusive and had their own rules on it, would it really make all the people who are running tournaments now flock to that, or would they keep doing their own thing and tell GW to piss off?
No,
But
I guess
how many-
my point was they need to get their foot in the door soon or they're going to lose an opportunity altogether.
How many people go into the Games Workshop stores and don't go, like, this? In England, a Games Workshop store is much more common than your local game store. That's a North American thing. They don't have that much over there. So to go into your game store and then to say, oh, we've got this big Games Workshop tournament, I feel like that's got a little bit more prestige to it if they were running these large corporate-sponsored tournaments with great prize support. They could do something huge with. They could do the Masters. They could do a worldwide Games Workshop tournament. Bring the best from Europe, the best from North America. And that would bring it into the spotlight, right? There's so many people that don't even know about it. The problem, I feel like, with Warhammer right now is it's costs so much to get into it. You're not getting young people coming by and going, oh, like, this looks cool, I'm going to get into this. And how much does it cost to start? Well, you'll need to spend about $100 on the battalion. Then you need to buy the rule book. Then you need to buy this, and you need to buy a couple characters. You need to buy this, and then that'll get you to a 1,500-point army, and then you've just dropped $300. They need to, I feel like, get somehow into mainstream stores like Walmart. Give them a starter box that you can buy from Walmart that a guy walking around and go, oh, this could be fun to play with my kid, that you don't have to go to those exclusive stores like Games Workshop stores or the local game stores.
Interesting.
Rant over.
Mm.
Well, I think for that to really work, I agree. I think they should be making starter sets where you can pick up a 750 or 1,000 point army for each army that's playable out of the box. That you don't have. I mean, it comes with the small rule base, the templates, the whole shebang, and make it one intro purchase. And then
Well, that's what.
you'll hook on people a lot faster, and then you can grow from there.
Well, that's kind of like what Island of Blood was in Skull Pass. I guess the curious statistic would be how many people that picked that up, not knowing about Warhammer prior, actually stuck with it and expanded.
Well, the problem is even as I understand it, with at least with the Island of Blood, those two armies that come in it aren't like point value. They're not legal. You couldn't just take one side of that army and go get in a pickup game somewhere else. There's just not enough to actually play the game.
They're not equivalent points.
Yeah, screw the
Kyle's
Hiles.
got a guy in a griffin.
Yeah.
It's full of crap. It's bullshit. I hated that.
Yeah, I don't think they picked up many people from the Island of Blood. I think it was more people that already had armies that bought the Island of Blood, or like, hey, you got Skaven, I got High Elves, let's buy two. You know what I mean?
Well, with that being
Yeah,
said, are they not doing a good job
correct.
providing an introduction box or an
They
introduction
are not.
kit?
Absolutely not.
I
Look
think
at-
so, no.
Look at what War Machine and Hordes does, Mal.
Yeah.
The two-player starter box for those games, or even the single battle box things, that's enough. It comes with the rules. You buy it, and you can go play a game right away. You buy
Well,
a battalion, and you're like, oh, I don't have a general. I can't play this army.
Or even more to the point, since it's a direct comparison, Manic Games does the same thing. You can go to Manic Games, which you could use with GW. It's the same scale, same armies for the most part.
Yeah.
Pick up a two-player box and have everything you need to play a 500-point GW game with two different armies. So, I mean,
And they have the rules online for free.
yeah. And I mean, even so, yeah, you could play Kings of War, but I'm saying literally, I could go out and buy a fantasy rule book and then go buy a two-player Kings of War set and have enough to play Warhammer with two armies at about 500 points.
For way cheaper.
Yeah, for like $100.
I think this comes back to where GW needs to start running their own tournaments to start forcing you to run those events. And I think, like we just talked about with Privateer Press, the way that they enforce it is their packet, saying if you want to be an official event, you have to have the actual models. You can only convert up to this amount, and it's very set. And really, I mean, there's other people who can say, like, oh, sure, we don't have to follow those rules. But the way that Privateer Press encourages it is that all these things lead up until bigger and bigger national tournaments, and right on their websites, they will go and they'll put up, like, oh, here's the battle report of the top game. This is the top player in all of North America, right? And if GW did that same stuff with their events, well, man, if I want to be on that list and go to these official tournaments, I have to be getting their models, and they can draw them back in. And, I mean, another thing with this example, what Privateer Press does is their starter sets are designed to all be compatible. So if I grab the starter set for this faction and this faction, they're good to play. Whereas, as we already talked about with the different starter sets here, they're just not the same, right? One side you get a couple of rats and a couple of awkward little weapon teams, and the other one gets these griffins and monsters. What's going on here? So,
Well, I think the best starter kit that GW will ever put out will be Orcs and Goblins and Space Marines.
yeah.
So they try to hook you into both.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see in the next Island of Blood equivalent box? What two armies?
I would like to see a strong Tomb King book. I think Tomb Kings are awesome.
I think we
Aesthetically.
should just go unaligned, do Tomb Kings and Ogres.
There you go. That would be sweet.
Huh,
Yeah,
that's interesting. Like Ogre Raiders or something?
yeah.
Have that be the story.
Then you could
of it?
do a bunch of those Ogre Man-Eaters that look like the dudes from Araby.
Yeah, I can dig that. I like that.
I want to see orcs versus goblins.
And Jensen, just drop the mic. Cut the show. We're done. We're done. You would buy the shit out of that box.
Oh yeah.
I want to see some of the less represented armies as a way to try and get people into them. If they can get Beastmen versus something, like nobody plays Beastmen.
If
What else?
they came out
Beastmen,
with
Tomb Kings. Does that make sense anywhere in the lore?
if they came out with a
Beastmen, what
Beastman
else?
book,
It's two underplayed armies, and it fits in the fluff.
How
yeah, I
about
was gonna say the
Beastmen,
same thing.
Bretonnia, and Wood Elves? Then I would buy the shit out of that box.
Just add a little lizard man.
Triumph and treachery.
If they do Beastmen and Tomb Kings, they can actually create the models that aren't yet out for the books. Kind of like when you went ahead and do the Island of Blood, you got like the weapons teams that aren't actually available for sale individually for Skaven.
Yeah, they are. There's.
You
Yeah.
cannot buy a poison wind water.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Challenge me, yeah, like I would know shit.
I
You
mean,
don't buy
I
things, Nick.
definitely.
You don't buy Skaven.
Yeah.
You don't even play Skaven.
Yeah, no. What the hell do I know? You guys want to go into the next question?
Probably about time.
There's,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So William Ford asks, for each of whoever is actually there, what is the meanest list you think your army could make? Maybe because it's a little too much when it all costs. Maybe because no army would have an answer for 7 cannons, etc., etc. And if you had to play against it, how would you beat it? Also, sign me in for After Hours. All right, William Ford, you're welcome to After Hours. But essentially, his question is, what's the meanest list you think you can make with your army? But if you had to, how would you counter it?
Like an illegal list?
No,
Or
legal. Legal.
Okay.
Kind of like those theory-crafted lists that you hear about but never see, similar to like Anthony's recent battle report, where it's like people always talk about bringing hordes and hordes of skeleton archers from Tomb Kings, but no one actually does it. Well, this guy did it.
With Kalita?
Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
Wars or whatever?
Hmm.
I fought that list actually.
No, you didn't. No one ever brings it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
for me,
Mal.
I mean,
So
the nastiest one I can think of is the whole Glade Riders running around that, which I've waved that flag over and over. But I think the way to counter that one would be doing something. You have to do something else extreme, like take a huge block of Temple Guard and put Croak in there, and just keep on doing the spells. It does like hurts everyone within a range, right? I don't care where you hide. Poof, poof.
But
Deliverance
it's direct
of insect.
damage, so it only hits the things in the front arc that aren't in combat, because it doesn't say that it can hit people.
Yeah,
Sorry,
back
more
up.
issues with the Lizardman book. You can do 1 unit of Croak with the Temple Guard to be unbreakable, then do another like Slawn, Temple Guard, and that other special character, and just have 2 massive units of unbreakable models.
But your cax dies so easy.
Huh.
I know. An entire army of lead belchers.
Challenge accepted.
I don't know. I'm not good at making lists to begin with. So to make a list that's like when it all costs and how would I beat it? I don't know.
See,
I could do something. I would do something stupid that ends up doing really well, like bring 3 hordes of rat ogres. But I don't know.
See, for me, it's weird too. I mean, I play purely kitchen Warhammer, so even the stuff I think is like gross and that my group complains about me bringing really wouldn't last 2 seconds in much of a really competitive thing. I mean, I just probably the one they've complained about the worst is my dwarves. That basically I attached runes of slowness to everything and shot everyone apart with the Iron Drakes, but it's not something that would last in a tournament, I don't think.
I don't know. I love that build. When I first started playing the dwarves, I had a BSB with the 3 runes of slowness and Iron Drakes, and that seemed to work out fine. It was fun.
See, well, I didn't bother
It's
with
fun.
the 3 runes of slowness. I had literally a rune of slowness on every unit in the army. And then the BSB had the stubborn rune. So it was like it took forever for anything to get close, and I was shooting it apart. And then when it hit the small shooting units, it had to kill them to a man, and then start the whole process over again.
Now, just because someone's going to bring it up, all your dwarf rune combinations have to be different. So did you have like rune of slowness and like some 5-point rune, or?
Yes.
Okay.
It was rune of slowness.
We're
and
being cheesy,
2
not
runes
illegal.
of slowness. Yeah. It was.
Rune of slowness is good. It's good.
Cannons are good.
Cannons
of
are good.
slowness.
They are the best.
Runes
Runes
of
of slowness
slowness are good.
are the best.
Actually, I have never been able to use cannons for crap, so I don't.
Are you still
Have you been
measuring?
aiming 10 inches from the back?
Yeah.
I am, man. I still. All right, so I shoot 10 inches from the back, and I roll double 2s. I shoot shorter, and I overshoot. I literally, the only thing I've even been able to do with my corn cannon, and I have basically stopped using it like a cannon. I just rush at things and use its ballistic skill 5 grape shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all I can do with it. It's ridiculous. And then, so I just played a game last night where I was doing that, and it was great. First time I try to shoot it like a real cannon, I misfire and blow the damn thing up.
Well, it happens.
I actually had luck in my last game using stone throwers, and it's the first time I've ever had any kind of success with stone throwers. We'll rarely hit anything, but then last game I sniped a mangler squid across the map. It was freaking awesome.
I love stone throwers.
Nice.
I found the corn cannon.
Yep.
Corn cannon.
Nice.
Cook
Nah,
yourself next so we can all see it.
because it's corn.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to throw in before we go to a separate stream where you guys are all welcome to? But if you have to,
Sorry, who put in that question that I accidentally made fun of him with the EGIE? Because there's larger battles, smaller battles as part of that. What's your general point size games? 2,500?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say.
We usually play anywhere from 1,750 to 3,000, depending upon what we're looking for in any particular game.
Okay, so 2 questions to that. Do you think 2,500 should be the standard, or should Games Workshop try and make the smaller battles better to be the standard so that it's easier to get into the game?
I think 2,000 points should be the standard. I think if they could make it scale well where that you could have a fun, kind of inclusive game at 2,000, but it scales well up to 3, 4, so on, I think that would be the sweet spot.
The sweet spot I always find is 2,999 because when you go for those small games, you just get it so you get more paper, rock, scissors, right? So in the small games, you can max out on whatever heavy or rare you like or whatever you want to do there. And the bigger you get, you can't anymore, right? You can take your 2 steam tanks, but then you're done. And so that's why you can't go to 3,000 and get to Grand Army. But if you stop at that 2,999 or whatever, then that's it. That's where I found is the best games.
Yeah, I think no Grand Army rules is sweet.
Yeah.
12 gyrocopters?
29.99 or 3,000 points, no Grand Army.
I like the
Either way.
smaller battles.
How small?
Yeah. After playing
I'll-
that one with Nick,
Yeah,
How long
I
did
think
you guys
I'm
play?
going-
I'll play 1,200
Appreciate
points any day.
That one live yet?
Huh?
Have you guys talked about your game yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay,
No.
go. What happened? Who won?
Dylan won.
Me.
Dylan won.
Yeah.
Dylan is better than Nick. Let the record show Dylan is way better than Nick.
Yeah, when we were playing, I was making a deep unit to get combat resolution, and I assumed that he thought I was gonna have all the cannons and all that crap. So I was just gonna try to make a unorthodox dwarf list with gyrocopters and iron drakes using the roll of the cannon because it's at 1,000 points. It's not like there's gonna be that much the cannons are gonna need to do. And when I saw his list, I actually was pretty freaking intimidated. It was like 3 Nurgle chariots, 1 Gore Beast, and an unkillable Zinch Lord. Like, I'm just like, okay, what am I supposed to do to this? It's
Easing into the
it's like
game.
a brick against a brick. What's gonna happen here?
The Beast. The Beast did nothing.
Yeah, the Beast unfortunately did nothing. But it turned out to be a really crazy game. His dog killed my gyrocopters, which is freaking insane. I've never seen that before. And I don't know, you just got to go check it out. It was a fun game.
Is it up somewhere, Nick?
Yeah, it's on my channel.
Oh, sorry. I haven't been on the internet in like a month.
It's where you'd expect it to be.
Have I missed anything awesome? Has anybody had an awesome game that, like, hey, both right now, Mitt, Warrior Vault, Brian, Mal,
I haven't put
Andrew.
up a video in a month.
Okay, I haven't been on in a month. If I have to go watch one of your games, which one should it be?
Ooh.
Well, if you want to see me suffer horribly,
I do.
I've gotten a couple in lately with my wife. I would take a look at a game on my site that's called Empire versus Orcs and Goblins, the pity game, and enjoy my suffering because it's there for everyone to love. It's Battle Report 45.
If you watch any of mine, watch the game with Whoopi, but any of the Ogres versus Dwarf games are fairly interesting.
Sorry, no, you can't say that. You have to pick one.
Alright, watch the game versus Dylan so you can see me lose.
Alright, that's what I want to hear. Game versus Dylan.
You're evil, Tyler.
Why? I want to see Dylan win.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys want to throw in before we switch over?
I need to hear one from
Andrew?
Mal. Mal hasn't told me which video to watch.
If you want to see orc glory and this glory in action, go and check out my one that's Orcs and Goblins versus Vampire Counts. Oh, it's
Orcs and Goblins versus Vampire Counts.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Babies were kicked.
Babies were kicked.
There were no babies kicked in the recording of Warhammer Weekly.
So I think there's a big question that still has to be answered for the viewers. Is the big thing is why is there going to be a hiatus, and how long will the hiatus be?
Good question.
Okay, so there's going to be a definite restructuring of Warhammer Weekly. I'm moving to a time zone that's 5 hours ahead of this. So if I want to join in at 9 o'clock, that has to be happening at 2 in the morning. So the only possible time that I could really join would be weekends, and I don't want to steal anyone's weekends. So unless we do a time change for the show itself, I need to be gone, which means we need to find a replacement.
Oh.
So that's the Tyler reason for being out.
Nah, we weren't gonna replace Tyler or anything. Not like we were gonna do that or anything. But basically, I have to focus on I'm going to tech school right now. I'm about to go there, so I just need to make sure my schedule gets in order and I get everything in order before I start focusing back in the hobbies. Because when I get into crap, I get way too addicted and I neglect things that I should be doing. So I'm just trying to be responsible and focus on the things that I need to focus on.
So what's happening?
What was that?
When do you think you'll be back in, Dylan?
I'm hoping to get it started within 2 weeks, if not a month, depending on Nick. Because Nick also has his own things going on. So
what Nick has to do, I'll cover this one. So what Nick's going is he's going in for surgery to not only have his messed up eye fixed, but to also add in a third eye in the center of his forehead.
Third eye of each.
That'll triangulate and be able to determine distances on the battlefield.
I don't believe it. I think you're fitting. I think you're fitting.
He's putting a hand here
Seems
too.
like an expensive way to avoid using a tape measure.
Do you mean a convenient way to avoid using a tape measure?
It's like he's just like the third eye of Zinj.
Yeah. Just, he
Okay,
only
6
opens it on like turn 6. He's like, the eye has opened.
So for me, I have there's 2 shops by me I want to try to get to and play some games Wednesday nights, but also I picked up X-Wing and I want to start playing that, so that's just another thing. And it's the summertime, and I realize I could be out doing something, whether it's
Dude,
Warhammer or
summer's
not.
over.
I still have the rest of August, dude.
Fair enough.
So
Are
and
people
September.
trying to learn how to swim in August?
What?
Do people try and learn how to swim in August?
Yeah, it's summertime. It's hot down here.
What's Chris doing?
I don't know.
Are you gonna hang out with Chris and go to the park and play frisbee?
Yes, we're going to. We're gonna play
You guys
ultimate
gonna
frisbee.
sing songs? You
Nick,
guys gonna sing songs?
do you play guitar or own a dog?
Are you
I
gonna record it?
I do have a guitar.
You should play guitar for your dog.
Do you like Wonderwall?
I know how to play Wonderwall. Who
I wish
doesn't?
that you would step back up from that ledge, my friend.
Hey, can you sing that friend song that's really sad at the end of like when things are like graduation at high school they would play? You know?
Don't you forget about me. Don't. That's when you cut, because that's gonna be the end of me. So yeah, I need to start doing some more videos. When I get to England, I had originally talked with a different school, not the one that I'm going to be working with, but it's kind of like a sister school. I'm actually starting a Warhammer club at the school.
What? Why is this the closing topic?
Because it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen, because it was a different school that originally talked to me about it. But it's definitely something I want to look at starting and doing, like sweet probability and math equations up on like the board so people can understand dice probability better and get them painting and shit.
Wow, I am very impressed with that idea.
I might actually send like an email to Games Workshop, because that would be cool to get a little bit of sponsorship for the school.
Yeah, tell them to send some Island of Bloods over.
No, it'll be stuff I need. They'll be like, yeah, do you want to send over another one of those Tree Man kits? Kids go nuts over them.
No, they're just gonna send you 50 more red measuring sticks.
Yeah. Just a stupid 18-inch whacker stick.
All right. Who has gotten badly hurt by those things?
Just my opponents.
Okay. Dude, whacking people with those things, it just hurts.
Yeah, who hasn't
like
had
playing
sword
Hot Wheels.
fights with those? Isn't that normal? Right?
What?
Having
What?
sword fights with those red
No,
measuring sticks?
I would just smack people with them. I don't know why they even send those. Like, who can't get a freaking ruler?
I always
like,
think people
like
hurt
that's-
themselves. They always have them, and they're whipping them around, and then they'll hit their face or something like that.
What I
It's
did
like, I have a
do,
good
That's-
idea.
That's what happened to Nick's eye.
Yeah.
what I did do when I used to get those was I would just cut them up to 6 inches and just use them for my dwarves, because I only ever used dwarves when I would get all those. So
Okay.
it was just a 6-inch measuring stick. All right. Anything else you guys want to throw in before we switch over to an after hours, which, like I said, everyone's invited to. It's
Make
gonna
sure
be-
to come back.
Make sure what?
Make sure you come back.
Yes. Yes,
Can we
we will
talk-
do. We will do a season 2, of course. I promise. Ooh, a dog. Is there anything you guys think really needs to be changed or done when we do another round of this?
Like for next Warhammer Weekly, if it returns. I mean,
Yes.
when it returns.
Completely different changes to the show.
Maybe we could get rid of that Nick guy. He's kind of a dick.
Jeez.
It's Nick.
Yeah, that dick guy is kind
No,
of a
it's Nick.
Nidiculous. Nidiculous. The Y and a J.
See, that would just be me, and then what I would do? I don't.
Just
I
pretend
don't
we're still
know.
there. You'd be like, that's a really good joke, Tyler. Quietly.
Oh, Tyler, you're a douche.
You could do a show like Johnny Crass. where he just invites people. No one ever shows up. Poor guy. I feel terrible. I told him yesterday I was going to show up, and then I forgot to.
Wow. This is why you don't invite Nick to things.
See,
I invited
that
him to my
just-
wedding. He never showed
That's
up.
how Nick is, though. That's how our game was at.
Oh no!
Walrus.
Dude, like the weekend after Brawlers, I emailed Andrew. I was like, "Dude, I am so sorry. I totally effed up. Like, I owe you a game. I'm gonna drive all the way over to Jersey and come play." He's like, "No, it's okay." But I do owe
Like,
you
nah,
a
I
game.
don't want to see that, man.
That just raped my giggle sack.
And
Alright,
on that bombshell.
on that note, if you guys are watching live, which there's 12 of you, and you want to join the After Hours, I'll post a link in the Google Plus page.
Somewhere.
But thank you for everybody for hanging out. Matiram, Mal, Warriors Vaults. We got Tyler and Dylan, and see you guys in the After Hours. And Warhammer Weekly will be back with X amount of changes and some improvements. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.